So you want me to say hello and welcome to the casting of the pod?
That'd be quite original. No, I mean, just say, like, yeah, freak out podcast, deal with it and move on.
Hiya, this is a 3 count podcast. There we go. Right, you
Deal with it
ready?
and move on.
Oh,
This is the 3 Count Podcast with your host, Aaron Phelan and Michael Titley.
right, so let's discuss the draft. Let's get into it. That's what
Yeah.
everyone's here for. Are you looking
Hopefully
forward
there's
to it?
people here.
Our one
Yeah.
viewer.
I've been looking forward to the draft for the last 10 years.
You've been looking forward to it the last 10 years. What happened to the ones that kind of existed within 10 years?
I don't think we had them 10 years ago, did we?
Yeah, the last one was 2011.
Oh, really? Wow.
It was that stupid one where John Cena got drafted to SmackDown at the start of the show, and then at the end of it, he got drafted back to Raw.
Don't remember that. Must have not been watching when that happened.
Do you not remember? It was a bit ridiculous, but everyone kind of was like, "Oh wow, they're actually moving Cena to SmackDown. SmackDown's going to be credible," and then
They went, oh no, it's not.
by the end of the show, everyone was like, "Wow, that just makes SmackDown look even worse." Actually,
Then we're getting John Cena highlights from Raw now on the show regular.
yeah. Hopefully, this year's draft makes SmackDown a lot more credible.
It's got to be though, because for years SmackDown was the better show, and it was. We had
Yeah.
like Undertaker, Batista, Kane, Rey Mysterio. There's loads of people who it was just better than Raw.
Yeah, SmackDown used to be great.
When Edge was on there, it was brilliant, and then all of a sudden, when they started letting people go on both brands, it just sort of got pushed back.
Well, that's the thing, but hopefully with this one, I mean, they're doing the draft on SmackDown, which kind of straight away says SmackDown's pretty important having the draft on there, because usually they always do it
Yeah.
on Raw, don't they?
Who's going to be the general managers for both of them? Over they're not decided yet.
They've not decided yet, have they? I mean, they had last week on Raw. They had, was it Teddy Long coming out? This week they had John Laurinaitis coming out. So they keep trying to tease people that'll be doing it.
So not just going to be even Steph and Shane.
I think, yeah,
one
I'm
each.
gonna say I think they'll just end up giving Steph and Shane one each, and then that'll probably cause some sort of rivalry at some point of the brands both clashing, I suppose.
They should have got Paul Heyman to write it. That's what they should have done.
Well, when Paul did write SmackDown, it was great, but like he said, he doesn't ever want to write for WWE again, so I don't think that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
But whatever. So yeah, I don't know who's going to be GM. I'd kind of like Shane to be the GM of SmackDown and Stephanie keeps
I think-
Raw.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one. I think they just need to get rid of. I really don't want Triple H to come back.
You don't want him to come back.
No, I want him to come back as a wrestler, but he's quite old. But I just don't have the authority.
Although, yeah, I kind of do get your point. I mean, I love what he does with NXT. Like, he's a face behind the brand, but you don't really see him on camera or anything that much. But he's behind everything.
So made a good stuff. He's like on NXT with all the rookies when he's on camera. He's like a nice dad. He's like, oh, giving him like, oh yeah, you're all right. And then like he's killing Roman Reigns. I'm on Raw.
It is true. I mean, as a lot of people like to say, the Smarks love Triple H for what he does with NXT. And the guys like he kind of supports on the main roster, like Kevin Owens and people like that who come from NXT. Who have come from NXT.
Drug users like Roman Reigns.
Let's not get into that. But yeah, it's interesting with Triple H. I think, like you say, it's probably best keeping him off as an authority figure. Because a lot of people weren't keen on the authority, not just for the fact that there was heels, but they kind of
went on for too long as well.
Well, that's exactly. I think you're kind of getting that a bit with Shane and Steph still at the minute, but nowhere near as bad as when it was Triple H and Steph. I think heel authority figures are just way past the time anyway. I mean, it was cool in the 90s with Austin and McMahon, but I think it's just been overdone in the wrestling industry in general, to be honest. There's nothing new with it anymore. It's just annoying.
I don't know what you mean. Like, just fire the guy. I was pleading for just fire him. We'll have him at right Mania. Don't you worry. We'll fight someone better.
Exactly.
Fight Zack Ryder.
Well, Zack Ryder did get a good win at Mania, so...
He did get a good win at Mania. He's not had one since, but
and then
well done to him at Mania.
lost
I don't
the
get
night
that.
after, and that was it. But well,
I was happy. I was quite buzzing at the Miz one. To be fair, though,
I've heard a lot of speculation that maybe it was Miz that kind of said, it might have been him that was supposed to win at Mania, but he kind of thought he's had his moments, big moments in his career. Maybe give it to Zack so he's got a feel good WrestleMania moment, and then obviously Miz gets the heel heat the next night by beating him. That does seem like
very genius of him.
Yeah,
very genius from a genius.
It seems like a good thing that might actually be pretty plausible. Obviously, we probably won't ever find out if that's true.
I don't think the Miz ever nails heel heat. I think he's the only actual heel in WWE.
He is a very good heel. People do despise him.
Smarks and children both hate him. Everyone hates him. It's great.
Yeah, definitely. But we are drifting off a bit here.
We are indeed. So, but who do you think will be the biggest superstar to move to SmackDown?
I think it's going to be Cena. I just can't see any other option, to be honest. I think Cena's going to be the main guy for SmackDown. Originally, I was going to say Roman was going to be the main guy for Raw, but I think plans might have changed there, to be honest.
Do you reckon?
Well, I mean, he can't be there on the night. His suspension lasts till, I think, at least a few days after. Might be the day after, I'm not sure. So he can't be there on the night. So you can't have Roman as the top guy drafted to Raw when he can't actually show up. It just doesn't really seem like a logical move to me. But then again,
do you reckon when he comes back, do you reckon he'll still be face of the company?
It's a difficult one. I think they're gonna cool off on him for a bit, to be honest, until things kind of settle down, because I think he's going to come back with even more heat than he had when he was here before his suspension, to be honest, because you're going to get a lot of people looking for, they've got a reason
to hate him. We've got a legitimate reason now to hate him.
Yeah, so I think they're going to cool off on him for a little bit, but then I do think that maybe in a couple of months, few months, they're going to kind of start strapping that rocket to his back again. I suppose it depends how well Ambrose does as champion as well. I mean, he seems great from what I've seen of him this past week on Raw.
He is brilliant though, Ambrose.
Yeah, he is. He's incredible, really. If he can carry on his momentum that he seems to be running with at the minute, it's kind of going to give them a reason to go with someone else instead of Roman. I think the fans want it. I mean, let's face it as well. When was the last time that the entire fan base is kind of behind someone? Arguably,
John Cena.
Arguably, it was probably, I don't know, Daniel Bryan. Do you think when he was champion? I mean,
yeah, I'll agree for the whole universe. I mean, I weren't Daniel Bryan's biggest fan. I won't be the first one.
We all know you're not his biggest fan, but I mean, in terms of the majority, I would say they was behind him. I know I definitely was.
Just a little bit.
I mean, a lot of people love Rollins as champion last year, but
I was gutted when he. You know what? I was so happy when he won that. Then when he beat Roman,
beating him clean as well. Roman's first clean loss, which was a real shocker.
Last one was to Adam Rose.
It was down in FCW, bloody hell. Yeah. So what I was saying about Ambrose champion, was we? So yeah, I think Ambrose could be the guy to lead it. And I'm gonna say he's probably gonna be Raw's top pick. And of course, like we just said, Cena, I think is gonna be SmackDown's top pick. Would you agree with Ambrose as Raw's top pick? What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know if he sort of seems like the main guy for a roster. He might. You never know. He might be, but I just don't see it in that way. I can't see WWE doing that. I think it's got to be Seth.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
he's got that sort of edge vibe about him, Seth.
Yeah, he's got an edge. I don't know. He's kind of got a Shawn vibe as well to me.
He can play heel or face. You can tell straight away.
Yeah, he definitely can. He's great at both. And I don't think they're going to turn him face anytime soon, though. I think
No.
if they was going to do it, they would have done it when they brought him back from injury. And
Yeah, and he had all that.
unless, getting back to Triple H, a lot of like speculation for months now has been that a rivalry for SummerSlam possibly is Triple H returning to face Seth. I would like that, and obviously that would probably be a cause for Seth to turn face. But whether it's going to happen, I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think whatever does happen with the draft, I think the Shield guys are definitely going to be split up.
Really?
I don't think they're all going to be on the same brand. Can you see it happening?
Yeah, well, they want that Shield triple threat, don't they? They seem to be pushing for that match, don't they? So I can't see them passing up on that.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, wouldn't they have saved it for SummerSlam if they was all going to be on the same brand? Like,
Oh yeah, but they didn't know Roman Reigns was shooting up, did they? No,
yeah,
but in terms of we've had them in all the excuse me,
It's all right.
we've had them all in the ring. What is it? 3 out of the last 4 shows. It's all been leading to it, and then all of a sudden, Roman Reigns is doing steroids. So,
Well, we don't actually know he's doing steroids.
what's he doing then?
Oh, we don't know. They've not said what it is. They never announce what the substance actually is. Obviously, you can presume it's steroids, but it could be anything, to be honest.
That'd be blood doping.
Well, actually, no, it could have been like weed or anything, because I think they just give a fine for that.
He smokes weed every day. Well, it's legal, isn't it, in America? Is it 21 states in America? So
I really don't know. I'm not clued up on that. It's not really my interest, but
well, it's not mine either. But facts are facts.
I was waiting for you to like kind of deny that. Then I thought, oh, he's actually not going to. But yeah,
I think I'm the least weed guy in the world. I only found out what 420 was last year.
Oh, Mike. Anyway, speaking of splitting up factions and stuff, I think they're going to split up Owens and Zayn for a while after this.
You know what? That's when I think that they're going to build this match and wait quite a while before they do it. I don't think there's much point at the moment.
Well, aren't they doing it at Battleground? I'm pretty sure.
Are they? Alright, that's me told.
I'm pretty sure it's happening at Battleground, but I suppose that's kind of the last sort of send off for a while for these two, because they can just feud forever. These have been feuding for what, nearly 15 years, is it now, or something? And they've been feuding for years, and it never gets old. Obviously on Independence that was. So I think they're going to split them off for a while. They both go on separate brands, and then maybe next year they get drafted back and face off again. But I think it'll be a nice little break for the feud.
Yeah. What's going to happen with the tag division?
Yeah, I was just going to get through to this. I think we should run through like the champions and what brands like they'd be best on. So yeah, we'll go with tag champs if you want. New Day.
I don't think there's enough tag teams to do it though.
I don't know. They've got a pretty stacked like tag team roster at the minute, especially with NXT as well, which apparently there's kind of been rumblings that NXT is gonna just get like plowed through with the draft, and they're gonna just grab a lot of people from NXT to bring.
I just don't hope. I really hope that they don't just make SmackDown NXT sort of thing.
I don't know.
Where they just send all the. I'd rather have some sort of division, if you know what I mean.
I think that could work though. I think SmackDown with an NXT style would really benefit, because NXT gets like universally loved, and I think by bringing that aspect into the way SmackDown's written,
No, I don't. I mean, having pretty much like just all the draft just coming through as NXT people who are in the WWE and the NXT superstars who are on NXT now.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think you might get like quite a few people from NXT heading into like SmackDown, but I think equally they'll go on to Raw as well. But they've got a big main roster already, so there's a lot of people there to split between both brands. So I don't think it'll be heavily influenced by any one like section of NXT or anything, if you know what I mean. But
the big question is, will Primo and Epico be split up? That's the big question. That's the question on everyone's lips.
Well, maybe they will be. Maybe they won't. I think they'll keep them together though. Imagine Carlito coming back, bringing.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. That.
I mean, they've said that they're trying to contact people from the past as well to fill out the rosters. So
Like the Ghost Christmas Past and
you
stuff
never,
like that.
you never know. Maybe a Carlito return is on the cards.
Or Sabu.
I don't think so. He put out a tweet yesterday that said he hopes Roman Reigns ODs and dies.
Nice of him. I might retweet that.
He deleted it.
Did it? Why?
I don't know. He probably got a lot of shit for it or something.
Maybe he got hacked.
I mean, to be honest, he was.
If you're gonna say shit like that, you got to stand by it.
He really doesn't give a shit, Sabu, does he? I think he jokes a lot of the stuff as well. He tweets, and I think a lot of it's just like sarcastic. But who knows him? It kind of does say it in the description: homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, and all the other sidal things he is.
Two names for you, Hardy Boys.
I don't see it happening, especially with.
It'd be so good.
Especially with the current standing in TNA. They're both doing pretty well for themselves over there at the minute.
Yeah, but it's TNA. I'm doing well as a professional footballer. I actually play futsal, but it's not football, is it?
Well, I mean,
you want to play in the big leagues. That's why AJ came over. He was tired of doing all this indie stuff.
Indie stuff. I think he was doing fine in Japan. Thank you very much.
I don't know. You tell me.
We were speaking about tag teams, though, weren't we? New Day. I think
you know what? I wanted New Day. This is what really weird. I wanted New Day to win the other night. You know what? What was it? Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, yeah.
Until JBL said something. Said they're nearly breaking the tag team record for most days.
Yeah, Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
Yeah,
I forgot you're a bit of a mat for them.
I was like, right, I wanted you to lose and be funny. And then the referee made about 50 mistakes in that match. I was like, they've been screwed.
Yeah, it seemed like there's quite a few botches on that pay-per-view, but I don't know. It was the way it was, I suppose. I think it's kind of the chaos of like 4-way tag matches.
I can't stand them. Honestly, they're one of the worst matches going.
I think the way they'd be better if they had it as like a fatal 4-way instead of having to tag in like two. It's just two people in the ring at the same time instead of 4. I think having one from each team in the ring would be a lot smoother than having just 2 guys in. Because I mean, Lucha Underground. Oh, here we go. That's blast from the past. Don't talk about that much, do I?
I know, yeah. He's not watched it anymore ever since Del Rio left.
I still watch it all the time. It's brilliant.
Do you watch it all the time?
I do. It's amazing. It's probably one of the better weekly programs of wrestling, to be honest. But anyway, we're not here to plug.
Back to the draft.
No, as I was saying though, they do it sometimes where they'll have 4 people in the ring at the same time, and then obviously the tag partners are outside, and it just flows so much better than the really strange dynamic of just having 2 people in the ring. I think it causes for more confusion, to be honest. But anyway, well, it was like the end of the match, wasn't it? Actually, quickly, who was it? Was it Gallows that tagged in? He tagged the wrong person, I think.
Yeah, it happened twice. I noticed.
So it's like you won by pinning. I think it was one of Vaudevillains, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think he pinned one at Aiden English, and it's like Aiden wasn't even the legal man, but whatever. I don't know.
But anyway, mistakes happen. Referees are made of glass.
Back to the draft. So New Day. I think they're going to stick on Raw, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't see him moving to SmackDown.
I don't know why I said stick on Raw. Like, they're on SmackDown anyway, but I think they're going to be going to Raw, I should say. I just think Vince loves them. As much as we kind of want to say they're going to give some credibility to SmackDown, I think Raw will still, in most part, be viewed as the main show. And I think he'll want to keep them on there. I just don't see them going to SmackDown. I mean, you never know. They may surprise you.
You never know, yeah. Might surprise you. What do you think will happen with the Divas division?
I think they're going to move... Well, actually, it brings up an interesting point, really, because did they keep the titles? Like, will the champion be on both shows? Because, I mean, I guess this applies to New Day as well, really.
I think the whole point of a rebrand is one person you're on the show, stay with it. I don't want...
Well, this is how it changes the whole dynamic, because obviously you're going to have the US title on one show and the Intercontinental on one show, but when it comes to the tag and the women's, it's either that the champs cross over from each show, or they either split these two divisions. So you have like the tag team division on Raw, and then you have the women's division on SmackDown. I, I suppose I kind of prefer that, but at the same time, if you're going to do that, then you're kind of completely alienating the entire women's division from being on Raw. And I think from
they
branding,
do that anyway, though. In fairness, so I don't think they'll be that asked about that.
not really. Like, the women compete on both shows, and I think if you say like, right, the women are exclusively on SmackDown now, then from kind of a branding and marketing perspective, it completely screws up when you're promoting Raw, because it's like, where are the women? And it's like, they're not on this show. You have to go and watch the other show for the women, and it's like, oh right, okay, that seems a bit wrong. But I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting one how they're going to handle that. From a fan perspective, I'd like to see them separated, but in terms of business strategy, I think it's best to have like at least the women's champ crossing over from both shows. What do you think?
I don't know. I think that it's got to be one. It depends who they're going to put on which roster. To be honest,
Yeah.
But I think I'd rather have two championships.
What, like two women's championships?
Two women's championships, like they used to have the women's and the divas sort of thing, but like, you know,
well, this is
maybe a better name.
But this is where we get into more like thingy territory now, because then is there enough women in the division to have meaningful feuds on both shows for two different titles? Will it hold up? Is there enough women there?
I think it's one of them where they're going to bring a lot through, though, aren't they? So it's going to be a case of.
Well, I mean, you can bring a few up from NXT, but I mean, in terms of who's ready, there's not a lot of women down at NXT that are ready to be moved up. A lot of them are just kind of finding the feet down there at NXT at the minute. A lot of them are still to be debuted on NXT, so I don't know. I think that might not work out too brilliant, but in terms of the overall quality of the division, I guess we'll see what they do with it. But that is the really interesting one to me. What's going to happen with the women in this draft? I do feel like they're going to go for splitting the women on two drafts and having the champion on two brands and having the champion crossover. But I guess we'll find out.
You never know, like.
You never know.
That's what Paige is, some sort of champion, though.
Let's hope. What about US champion Rusev and Intercontinental champ Miz? Definitely split them, do you think, on separate
I think
brands?
Miz is on SmackDown.
And Rusev on
Rusev
Raw.
overall.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But Rusev has sort of like the old sort of heel factor that they used to have on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
That times where heels used to not get beat, sort of thing.
Yeah, it could be a good move, actually, to put him on SmackDown. I mean, for the longest, like, with the last draft, I think the Intercontinental title was... Did it used to be associated with Raw more? Or...
Intercontinental was always on Raw.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Jeff Hardy used to have it. US.
Yeah, it's just...
It's like MVP and that had it.
I've been so used to it for some reason being on Raw that I was thinking it was associated, the US title, with Raw, but no, you're right. So yeah, that could be an interesting one. I think maybe moving the US champs to SmackDown and Intercontinental on Raw might be somewhat of a bit of a shake-up to go back to like old times. But I think the Intercontinental title holds a bit more prestige than the US one, to be honest. And I think, depending on what the situation is with how they're going to have champions, if they're going to have like two main champions or not, I think possibly putting the Intercontinental on SmackDown would help for its legitimacy. But I guess we're going to see what they're going to do with that. But I mean, we have discussed off this podcast the possibility of them having like a SmackDown championship, haven't we?
I'd rather them do that, to be honest.
I think it could be a good move. I know Adam wasn't too keen on that idea, but I think I think it's going to work best, to be honest, rather than having the champion go between both shows.
It's got to be John Cena as well, the champion.
Well, it could be, or it could be AJ, because I do think both AJ and Cena are going to be drafted to SmackDown to kind of carry on their little feud they're having.
Little feud.
Little
Bloody hell.
feud. It's not really a little feud, is it? It's a big feud.
15 years in the making.
Definitely. But like we've discussed, we've said about them possibly doing like a blow-off match at SummerSlam to crown like the first SmackDown champion. I think that's a possibility. Wouldn't be surprised if AJ won, to be honest.
I bloody hope not.
Do you not like AJ?
No, I just prefer Cena.
We've not talked about AJ much, to be honest, have we? Like, I know I like him, but you never really comment on AJ much.
He's alright. It's not like, it's not. It's alright. I'm not a huge fan. I don't dislike him. I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan. I don't like.
He's alright.
He's alright.
One of the best in the world. He's alright.
He says Brian was one of the best in the world, self-proclaimed, and
was?
I was a big fan of him.
That's true. I think you just like to. You're very, as we've said before, you're a very pro WWE guy, aren't you? You don't cheer for the indie guys much.
I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan.
Well, that's true. That's true. Representing Tyler Black.
I thought you said Tyler Breeze. I'm not a fan of him.
I was waiting for you to ask who that was, to be honest.
Is the Ring of Honor the old leader or who started it?
The old leader, not who started it.
Am I close?
Somewhat. We'll give you that.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, if anyone's listening to this that knows anything now, they'll just feel like shaking their head at you. But no, let's try and run through a few more people.
Kane.
Bloody Kane. That was who they brought back last week, wasn't it? Kane.
Did they bring Kane back last week?
Did you see? This is why you should watch more. Did you not see Kane?
No.
They had him. Yeah, he was like corporate Kane came back.
Alright, never mind then.
All right.
I'm not interested. Wait a minute, actual Kane came back. I was getting dead excited.
No. Corporate Kane was back for the week. It was alright. Didn't do much, but it was interesting. Let's jump back to what I was going to say. Wyatt family. Where'd you like them to show up?
SmackDown.
Yeah, I'd like them at SmackDown, actually. I think it could be interesting having them over there. Although, who's it the feuding with at the minute? Oh, it's New. Oh, well, there we go. New Day. The feuding with New Day at the minute. So that kind of, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. Have I just spoiled Raw for you, by the way?
No, don't worry about it.
I just realised that you haven't watched Raw this week. It was like, oh shit. Wyatt's are back, so there you go.
Right, okay. Thanks for that.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Watching them thinking, yeah, they're back. Yes, well played. So I want to go on Instagram after work and think, fuck, I've just 5 Raw spoilers.
Oh well.
The worst one was Cena when Alberto Del Rio had the championship. I was like, you bastards. Him and Zeb Colt was like, you bastards.
Raw always ruin it for you, Mike. So yeah, the feuding with New Day, I'll just give it to you. Well, you missed SmackDown as well because it was on there as well. But yeah, the feuding with them, so it's kind of wherever they're going to end up, I'd imagine the Wyatts are going to follow. So
why are they following buzzers now instead of being the ones to?
Well, they're hypnotising Xavier Woods, so that's interesting.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be good. It's like slowly happening as well. Like on Raw, they had him just like really staring. He didn't do his like catchphrase because he was just staring at Bray. Then
what's his catchphrase? Playing the trumpet?
No, when he does like the W.
Oh right, okay.
On SmackDown, there was on the Titantron, the Wyatts, and Xavier's in the ring, like looking like he's being a bit like mind controlled. But the thing is, it sounds really stupid and corny. But the way they're pulling it off is actually really well done. It's
it's the Wyatts. I believe it could be quite good. That
it should be fun. So I'm interested to see where this one goes. So like I said, I think they're going to keep these two on the same brand, whatever happens. So if we did say New Day was staying on Raw, I suppose Wyatt's would stay on Raw.
I'd rather have them on SmackDown. The two SmackDown, they really do seem like they'd be good on SmackDown. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think they'd be kind of more credible on SmackDown. I think they'd get a bigger role because it always seems like with the Wyatts, especially Bray, he never quite makes it to the main event scene. Like they'll put him up against someone that, like they had him in a feud with Ambrose that wasn't quite main eventing at the time. But he is like a main event caliber star. And it always seems like they do that with the Wyatts with Bray on Raw. So maybe if it was on SmackDown, Bray would get in maybe a title feud, which I'm really hoping he just gets to carry the title one day because he does deserve it. Yeah, definitely.
Let's hope for it. Let's all light a candle for him.
That's all right, a candle for him. What about Chris Jericho?
Yeah, I'm not bothered.
I thought you liked Chris.
I do, but I'm not like it's. I can't. There's no. I can't. I don't remember him being around when. I don't know if he was. I don't remember him being around when SmackDown was good, or when I was watching it. So it's not really. It'd probably stay on Raw.
I don't know. I think he'll go to SmackDown. To be honest, I mean, we're kind of going to go back to. Well, I'm going to go back to the NXT thing here. Is they're bringing up a lot of NXT call-ups and stuff. No one like Chris Jericho loves to feud with like the newer guys and put them over. So I think if a lot of the NXT talent pool's kind of moving up and a majority go to SmackDown, I think that'll be the brand where Jericho follows. To be honest, because he often works with the younger talent. So
I think that's why Sheamus would go to SmackDown as well. While this is beating up the young blood.
Yeah. How do you feel about that feud? Actually,
I like it, mate. It's quite good.
I think it's something interesting for Sheamus, to be honest. I mean, you know me, I'm not a big fan of him.
Do you not like Irish people?
Hey, I might be becoming an Irish citizen, so don't start with that.
The black on Irish. Do you have any other businesses? Oh, right, really. So you don't like Irish people?
Yeah, so it is an interesting thing for Sheamus, actually. I'm enjoying it because I think it suits his position on the card, to be honest. I don't think he needs to be in the main event. So I think him kind of being in this position with the, like you say, the young blood.
The young blood.
I think it's a pretty good thing for him, to be honest. I can't say I'm really enjoying it, but it's definitely better than the alternatives to what they can be doing with him. So,
well, the question on everyone's lips: where's Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler gonna go?
What, for their 300th match of the year? You mean?
Okay, that was on again. I was like, "What? I've seen this before." When I was watching it the other day.
Oh, I'm surprised how long they let them run on that pay-per-view. Like, their match was like, what was it, like 15 minutes or something on the pay-per-view, and I was like, Jesus, what?
It was just that pay-per-view. The start of it killed me. Honestly, the start of it killed me.
It seemed to hit highs and lows, that pay-per-view. Like the ending, especially like what was it, the final 3 matches? I think was just brilliant. You had like AJ and Cena. You had Roman and Seth. What am I forgetting? There's the third match. I can't remember.
Money in the Bank.
Oh, Money in the Bank. There we go. How did I forget that? Yeah, that was brilliant. Opened the show with like a pretty decent 4-way tag match despite some of the botches. Then the show just hit like a complete lull,
suicide,
and it was like, what am I sitting through it? But yeah,
I was absolutely gutted though during that because it made the main event not as good for me because by then I was knackered. I wanted to go to bed.
Yeah,
I weren't enjoying it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of it just hit that slump, and it took a while to recover from it, but I think it was difficult for a lot of people to get back into the show, to be honest. But, you know, whatever. Seaver's kind of brought up Dolph and Corbin. I don't know what's going to happen with these two. I mean, we keep saying, oh, yeah, let's just put everyone on SmackDown, to be honest. It seems like we said more on SmackDown
I know,
than
yeah,
Raw,
we just want everyone to go. We just want the whole run to be SmackDown. Just call Raw SmackDown.
Let's put everyone on SmackDown except Roman. We'll be good. I kid. I don't know. I think they're going to keep these two separate. I think Ziggler's staying on Raw. Actually, no. I think Corbin's going to stay on Raw as well. Actually, I I think they're gonna want to kind of push Corbin for a main event run at some point. I think they're gonna want him to go after, I don't know, maybe Ambrose or someone like that. So I think they're gonna stick him on Raw, to be honest.
Reckon Raw then for him.
Yeah, I'd reckon so. And Ziggler, again, I
SmackDown
don't
was always
know.
a SmackDown kind of guy, weren't he though?
SmackDown was always a SmackDown kind of guy.
No, Ziggler was always a SmackDown kind of
Oh
guy.
right. Yeah, he was, I suppose. I mean, I don't know where Ziggler fits anymore, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I still like him.
Calm down, what culture?
Oh my god, most overrated and all that crap.
Hey, what culture?
No, they called Dalton. I mate Adam.
He was on that. He was on what was it now? He was on that ride along, weren't it? And he was saying about he was on two of their lists, and they used the same picture.
Yeah, it was like, that's what I'm saying. They said like most overrated and something like worst wrestler of the year or something like that. Something like that. Or least charismatic. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I just don't know where Ziggler fits anymore. Like, I do feel bad for him because he had like an awesome run a few years ago, especially like 13, 14. It was, well, maybe more 13, but I suppose he had that great win at Survivor Series in 2014 as well, but that was kind of for Roman, but he was injured, whatever. So
I was so happy. That was brilliant. That, you know what? I wouldn't have enjoyed it if it was Roman who did
no,
that.
Same, but it was so good having Ziggler.
Team
like,
Cena win.
Like, who'd have ever thought that a Survivor Series match could have been that good? But it was brilliant match, that, especially with the way Ziggler won as well at the end with Sting coming out and stuff. But we kind of digressed again. But I don't know where Ziggler fits. Like, honestly, I cannot say like
Maybe
yeah,
just
he
fire
should be
him.
on Raw. I don't think so. But I don't know. I can't say like definitively, yeah, he should be on Raw because of reasons A and B, and I can't say he should be on SmackDown because of reasons A and B. It's an odd one with Ziggler. I think he's kind of going to be still lost in the shuffle, which is a real shame. He is great. He has lost that bit of an edge. I think he kind of, I don't want to say he's given up, because especially in his match with Corbin, you could see he was trying to pull out like the best performance possible in that match. But I think he kind of knows himself that the company's not going to run with him, which is a real shame. I think you just see it in his face. Like, it was back at the Royal Rumble actually, just before when Vince was in the ring with Stephanie. I think it was Stephanie. When they had all the people on the stage that was like, yeah, you're all going to be facing Roman for the WWE title in the Rumble match. And
he went, he couldn't even be Dolph Ziggler,
yeah,
and he sort of like looked.
Dolph was, his face just screamed like, yeah, right, as if I'm winning. It was, I don't know, I just feel really bad for the guy because he was on fire a few years ago and he's been there, 10 years? It's more probably. No, about 10 years, isn't it? So it's a bit of a shame, but I don't know. I can't see where he fits. I can't say that he's suited better on one more than the other. But whatever.
Poor Dolph.
Poor Dolph. I thought I was going to say poor Roman there. Mr. Cesaro.
Don't like him, so I'm not that bothered.
You don't like it? No, you just do that to wind me up.
Of course I am. I don't know where Cesaro goes, to be honest.
Oh god. Sorry, I just
Don't kill yourself.
I think keep him on Raw.
Raw? Wow, wasn't expecting that.
I don't know. I just think.
I think it was up to us. No one would be on Raw.
Well, this is the thing. I don't want to shove too many people on SmackDown. I did kind of enjoy when he was on SmackDown with like the really poor brand split like a few years ago, like 2012 or whatever, when he was on there. But I don't know. I think keep him on Raw. He's doing well. Hopefully he gets a main event run for the title. Hopefully he's champion. Like, I don't understand what they don't see in him. Like, obviously they rely on him to be a great worker. He gets awesome matches and they do put him on the show all the time. And it's not as if like they're not bothered about him. But it's like the guy's looks like this type of person that they like. Like, he's really muscled up and stuff. He's super strong, which they usually like. He can wrestle brilliantly, which the fans, well, a portion
Some
of
of them will like that.
a
I'll be honest
portion of
with
the
you.
fans love, like myself. It's just crazy. I mean, obviously he's not the best on the mic, but he's not bad by any means. He can handle himself on the mic. Maybe give him a manager or something. I don't know. But it really baffles me how they can like run with someone like Roman, and then you've got a guy like Cesaro who's similar in some ways, but a lot better in others. And they don't run with him. But hopefully, with this brand split, he does get a main event run. He definitely does deserve one. It's like it makes me laugh. A lot of the other wrestlers obviously seem to hold Seth in high regard. Hold Cesaro in high regards because it was like a funny little story. You know the RKO curb stomp RKO they did at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
That
was brilliant. That.
Yeah, apparently Seth and I think Randy as well. It might just be Seth went up to Cesaro and it was like, what do you think the chances of us pulling this move off are? And obviously Cesaro was like, yeah, I think you can do it, man. So it just is really funny that someone like Seth, who's brilliant as he is, and Randy, who's also equally amazing, that they'll go to a guy like Cesaro to ask if it's possible to be done.
Well, you've just mentioned someone who we've not mentioned yet.
Randy.
Where's Randy going to go?
Do you think this could be his return?
Maybe. I think it's going to be one of them where he goes, oh my god, I didn't know Randy was back, sort of thing.
Yeah, because I'm genuinely not sure if he's like due to be back or what's going on. I mean, I think he is working like a more limited schedule when he comes back. I'm sure that was something he said in an interview or something, that he wants to work a lesser schedule. Anyway, I don't see why he shouldn't. He's been there, nearly 15 years or something now, so I don't see why he shouldn't work a lesser schedule.
He's worked hard, hasn't he? Bless him.
I think Randy on Raw. He got drafted to SmackDown in the last draft, didn't he?
Did I? I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't think I was watching it. You know,
you're not watching. He like feuded with Christian. You don't remember?
No, cannot remember. Oh yeah, I actually do. Yeah, won it one more match and all that.
Yeah. That was like the highlight of SmackDown at the time. To be honest, it was a really good feud.
Must be in the shit.
No, it was a really good feud. He was doing well on SmackDown, I suppose. Then it does feel weird having Randy on SmackDown. He just feels like a Raw guy to me. I don't know.
I think he feels like a SmackDown guy.
Do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Fair enough. I suppose we've got different opinions on that one. I think wherever he ends up, he'll be just fine wherever he goes. I think they'll handle him fine on both shows.
He'll be just fine.
He will. I don't think he'll make any major changes to any show he goes on, really. I think he has his place. He does well with everyone in the ring, to be honest. Pretty reliable.
For Kingston.
Pretty reliable guy, Randy. So I think he'll be great on any show, to be honest. So yeah. Anyone else you want to mention?
Seth? Oh, we've already talked about Seth.
Wait, have we?
No, not really.
We haven't really.
We've sort of brushed over the Shield, saying that we think we'll be split, but I think it's Seth and Dean on Raw. 100%.
Yeah, I was going to say I think Seth and Dean on Raw. No, actually, because I don't think they're moving Roman to SmackDown. I think Roman's staying on Raw. Well,
I think they'll all stay on the same brand.
I really don't. I think they're going to split and we're going to move someone. So in that case,
I hope it's not Roman because I want to watch SmackDown.
I'm kind of hoping that too, but you know, it might happen. No, I think Roman's staying on Raw. I think actually Roman and Dean will stay on Raw. I think Seth will go to SmackDown.
No. Well, him and Cena had some great matches actually.
The thing is, I think either Roman or Dean at some point is going to turn heel. And I think they're going to have them.
Isn't Roman already heel?
Not really. He's more of like a tweener in a way, and he's
not a good guy. He's not a bad guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. He's these nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna have Roman and Dean on Raw. I think Seth's gonna go over to SmackDown. I'm up for that actually. I think that might work. Yeah, let's go with
I
that.
think, yeah. You know what though? Whatever happens, I'm sure they'll make some right decisions. If it, I don't, it might start out a bit shit, but it's gonna get better.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone else you want to bring up in terms of current roster? Oh.
Do you want to talk about actual divas or?
Well, this is a difficult one because I mean it depends what they're gonna do with it. Like, if they're putting them all on one show, then obviously all the women go to one show. But if they're splitting them, I find it really difficult to say who can go where because it just it kind of depends on what's happening with the title scene, in my opinion.
And what happens with Total Divas? What they're doing this week on there?
Because I mean, they don't really do many standalone like women feuds that don't involve the title. Like, obviously they've got the Natty and Thingy Becky
Chill out,
feud.
I'm not watched Raw yet.
What?
You know what? I was so happy when she turned heel on Money in the Bank, but then I thought
I was
she's not
gonna
going to
say
win the
you've
title.
seen it. I was like, what? Are you
Then I
gonna...
thought she's not going to win the title.
She might do.
Nah, she won't.
No, I don't think she will. I think she'll retire at some point soon. But I don't know.
Really?
I think so because I was gonna say TJ then. Bloody hell, listen to me. I think Tyson's pretty much retired. So I don't know. I don't see her sticking around too much longer. You never
Well, that's
know.
like saying Nikki might retire, so John's going to retire.
She's not retiring. She's coming back.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
What? Well, Daniel Bryan retired, so then Brie retired.
Well, that's not. Well, he's been out for about a good year, hasn't he?
Ooh,
Tyson Fury, Tyson Kidd.
Fury.
He's I can't stand him, the prick. But he's out in as well. Actually, think about that.
Ooh, Tyson.
Yeah, he's pulled out the fight. He's got to redo it because he's done his ankle in.
Oh, Tyson Fury.
Yeah, after all that shit he
Bloody
gave,
hell,
after all that shit he gave Klitschko when Klitschko did it. Now he's done it himself.
I was gonna say I don't really take too much interest in boxing, to be honest, so I don't have a clue what's going on with that. But yeah, with Tyson pretty much retired. I think she would be too at some point soon, maybe in the next year. So I don't see her winning the title, but I don't like I say it's hard to discuss where the women are gonna go without knowing what the situation is with the title.
We can only speculate.
Can only speculate. Did you want to say what women you thought should go on? What brand, or do you want to?
You know what? I'd like to see Paige and Natalia feud, an actual one though, not like the little thingy one that they had last time, where not really much happened.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not interested. You're not sold on the idea.
I don't know. It just.
I don't think there are any good rivalries anymore in the in the women's division.
I don't know. I think there's the potential to be like. I think Sasha and Charlotte will be a good feud when it happens. I think Becky and Natalia, to be honest, will be pretty good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the Charlotte and Natalia, but every match was just stupid. It was just the endings were stupid every time. It was like, again.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like we're slowly slipping back into the stupid finishes for women's matches, and it's like, why are we doing this? But
it's made me resent Ric Flair a little bit. He's just involved with it.
Leave Ric Flair alone.
I know he's left now.
He has. Although I mentioned he might be back at some point.
Maybe they'll be managing Natalia.
That surprised me. Yeah, possibly. I mean, Emma and Becky had a good feud going before Emma got injured. That was kind of enjoyable.
Kind of enjoyable. You sound like you was on the edge of this seat.
All right. I think there's the potential there for good things to happen. But I mean, it was like down in NXT, it was brilliant. Like you had Bayley and Sasha. It was like the feud of the year last year. Like from probably any company in the world, to be honest. Like male and female, it was incredible. But yet they seem to struggle on the main roster, and it's strange. But whatever.
Here's the biggest question that we've not answered: where does the Beast go?
I don't think he's really. I don't know. Does he really qualify? To be honest, he's just like floating.
And if anything for him to work less, I'm sure he'll be living up to be on a one specific brand.
Well, then I think he'll definitely be on Raw. there's kind of no doubt about that. I don't think
Yeah.
if he shows up, I think he'll be on Raw. Same for like Undertaker and stuff. I think you guys that work limited dates, they're just gonna show up on Raw. I think SmackDown's gonna kind of be the brand that's invested more into like longevity and long-term feuds and stuff. I don't think guys coming back for one match every few months or once a year or whatever are gonna be on SmackDown. I mean, I might get proven wrong, but
Can you see an actual brand split in pay-per-views like it used to be, like specific pay-per-views?
well, I think that's pretty much 100% confirmed, isn't it? Right
Is
now.
it? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so. There was a list that kind of got leaked of the pay-per-views coming up for the year. Next to them, they had like the brand and which brand that pay-per-view was for. And then
You know,
it pretty much got confirmed because WWE put up a pay-per-view page for the return of Clash of the Champions, which is like a WCW pay-per-view. So that pretty much confirms it because on the leak list, that was the name of one of the pay-per-views, and I think it was a SmackDown pay-per-view. So I guess we're getting brand exclusive pay-per-views as well. So
that's not too. You know, I think they'll split the commentary team as well.
definitely, yeah, I think that's going to happen. I kind of hope SmackDown gets like I don't know.
JBL, me too.
No. JBL is like the worst thing to happen to commentary in years.
Don't be. You sound like you're on the internet now.
He's terrible.
Why is he terrible?
He's absolutely terrible. He talks about unrelated things. I was talking about sport.
Exactly, I love it.
He's just screaming at stupid stuff at the top of his lungs all the time. The stupid heel dynamic where it feels forced is just ridiculous. Like you've got Corey Graves on NXT that, in my opinion,
See, I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah, do you even watch NXT?
No, but every time I've seen him on the pre-show, it seems a bit of a thing.
Yeah, but that's just a pre-show. Like, trust me, his NXT commentary is, well, him and Tom Phillips on NXT, like that is the best like commentary team I would say of like any company in the world right now. Like they do.
All right, calm down.
They do fantastic down there. Like they're honestly, they're really good. Like they're really enjoyable. It's
Right,
like,
I believe you.
It's good to listen to them. So I think moving them up on SmackDown would be good. Keep Morrow there though. I like it.
Where does Byron Saxon go?
I'm not really asked.
I don't mind Byron anymore.
No, he's not too bad, Byron. Like I used to prefer him more when he did commentary on NXT. I think the reason I've been put off of him is just the way like the interactions are with him and JBL and Cole. Like them two pretty much just bully him. Like Michael Cole's supposed to be a face. Why the hell are you bullying him? And JBL just, I don't know, he really annoys me. JBL. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the guy.
Believe
I think
you.
he's just ruining commentary, to be honest.
Wow.
And I think it's ruining his legacy a bit. Like,
I disagree completely.
I mean, fair dues. I mean, obviously you like all the sports insight and stuff, but I prefer, like, I don't know, I just prefer a more natural, old style commentary, like the old days of commentary, and I just really think JBL just
doesn't fit into that.
He doesn't fit at all. But everyone has different opinions, I suppose. I don't like JBL. I'd be happy with him to be taken off commentary, but whatever.
No, I really want out this brand split.
What?
I want them to get rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view and put the match at Mania. And one Money in the Bank match for the whole brand.
See, I really don't get that argument. Like, a few years ago, I would have agreed with you when they first did it, but I mean, the Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Where are you from?
Well, Steve Penk. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I think has been great for years now. Like since probably 2011 when the whole Punk and Cena rivalry happened. Like that was probably the pay-per-view of the year that year.
I just don't want 2 Money in the Bank matches, that's all.
We haven't got 2 Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
but what you're saying is they would do if there was a brand split.
That's the one.
Although I suppose that'd happen if it was at Mania as well, in a way.
No, I don't only want one like it used to be when it first started.
Yeah, like an inter-promotional one.
Yeah. Get rid of the Andre the Giant Memorial, stick that somewhere. Put it on the pre-show.
I kind of like how they have a ladder match anyway at Mania. Like, they do one anyway. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with them having Money in the Bank on its own pay-per-view, to be honest. I think it adds more excitement to one of the pay-per-views that's in the middle of the year. Like, we've
And
really gone through a slump in the past of having boring pay-per-views
gimmick
throughout the year.
pay-per-views, haven't we?
Well,
And
yeah, I
all
mean, I
that.
suppose you could argue that's a gimmick one, but I think it's one that people are still fond of. Like, it's not one where, like, Hell in a Cell. Like, I really despise that one. Like,
Well, 'cause like one Hell in a Cell match all night.
well, no, not that. Like, they do two, don't they? A lot of the times, but
Dude.
do. I was waiting for that like little childish laughter. But
Dude.
I think it feels so forced. Like you're booking a feud around the purpose of the pay-per-view, like the gimmick of the pay-per-view. Like you used to have a feud that would naturally run, and then at the end of it, it's like, right, we need a Hell in a Cell match to solve this. Whereas with the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, it's like, right, what's the next pay-per-view coming out? Oh shit, it's Hell in a Cell. We need to just throw two random people in a Hell in a Cell. It's kind of lost its meaning. Whereas with Money in the Bank, you don't really need a storyline to fit into that. It's just,
Yeah, just stick them in the ladder match.
well, yeah,
I
exactly.
know what you mean.
Like it's fine. You don't need to build a storyline around it. Like you could just have them in. They all want to fight for it to become champion. It's easily written. There's no issues there. But with the other gimmick ones, it just doesn't make much sense. But anyway,
It's great how Cena as a record, he's the only person to beat someone cashing in on him.
Is it?
Yeah?
I thought two people have lost.
Nope. Two people. There's only one person who's lost.
No, I'm sure there's two.
No. There's only one person who's lost.
Cena lost.
No, he won.
Cena lost. No way.
He won. He won.
No, he didn't.
He won. He won the match.
Wait, what? Right, I need to get this. Oh no, wait, no, he didn't.
He won the match.
Right, let's go. Who did he cash in on? No, he cashed in against Punk, didn't he, and lost.
He won the match.
Oh, oh wait, what?
Have you googled it yet?
I've got it up now. All right. History. Bear with me. Oh, where is it? No, Wikipedia don't make it easy to find something, do they?
Stop donating then.
Winner, Edge, King, Daniel Bryan.
Found it yet?
John Cena. Yeah, John Cena's the first wrestler to not win a world championship.
Yeah, he didn't win it, but
match.
He won the match.
Well, what? Yeah, but what?
Well, he won the match, didn't he? Won by DQ.
Did he?
Yep, he got. I think it was The Rock or The Big Show that came in the ring.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, it was the one on Raw's 1000th episode, wasn't it? No, it was CM Punk, wasn't it, that came in? Oh.
Was it? Well, some fucker did.
Oh, wait, no, it was Big Show, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, Big Show came out, didn't it? And then The Rock came out, and did CM Punk come out or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I told you.
It was first CM Punk, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next year he beat Damien Sandow when he cashed in on him. That was so good, that.
No, it was terrible.
When he had one arm.
Honestly, that was probably the worst cash-in ever.
That was brilliant. Oh my god.
I was so
the worst
annoyed
cash-in
with that.
was when he cashed in on Cena. I was so annoyed.
I was absolutely furious with that. It was like, talk about ruining Sandow. I remember so many people as well after that was like, oh, this will be great for Sandow. He was in the ring with Cena and it'll be so good. And it pretty much
That's what Kyle said.
It ruined his career. Like, he never came back from it at all. Like, well, I suppose in a way he did with the whole Mizdow thing, but
that was brilliant, that.
But not like what he could have been. Like, I remember I used to think Sandow was gonna like kind of be Triple H in a way, the way he was, like how Triple H kind of came in with the arrogant posh gimmick sort of thing, intellectual gimmick, and then he turned into obviously what we know as Triple H. Now I thought Sandow would kind of mimic that in a way.
Well, how wrong was you?
All because of Cena.
Well, that's not my fault.
It was ridiculous. Like, you gotta agree. Cena one arm injured. Beats Sandow. It's like 100%.
How going was it that he didn't bury AJ Styles? AJ Styles was like, oh, you bury guys like me. I was like, fucking too right. Oh, they'll be it. You'll get buried now. Jumped up, little shit.
Oh god. I think that kind of brings us to
To
an
that,
end for it,
yeah,
really.
yeah, really.
I mean, obviously, we haven't covered every single person on the roster, but
But who has the time when
who has the time? I think we'll obviously be doing a reactions podcast to this, to the draft. We'll see where everyone ends up, see what happens.
when they just give Cena the championship and go, John Cena, you're the best. There you are. You can take over this brand.
Thing is, I won't put it past them doing that. But anyway.
You know what though? If you can make the US Championship credible, you can do anything.
I'm not going to inflate like your love of him, but you do have to give him credit for some things. He is
Back for everything the last 15 years.
All right, chill out.
Best superstar ever.
All right,
and that's us.
Chill out.
That's us. Goodbye.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks for listening, guys. We will be back.
Right, Terminator.
I was gonna say good night then.
It's like 4 o'clock.
It's 4 p.m. in the afternoon. 4 p.m.
No, at nights.
British summertime. And
With
we've just
our
left
EU referendum, yeah. We're not left it yet, but we voted. Anyway, we are literally could not be further from the issue. So thanks for listening. Goodbye.
You've been listening to the 3 Count Podcast.